hobby, something that you enjoy doing, and you're looking to develop it into a business, the first thing to do is to find someone to work with. The reason for this is that as we get involved in our passions and our hobby, we tend very quickly to overcommit. We will put so much more into it than we need to because it's something that we believe in. Whereas with a business, we need an element of dispassionate approach to make sure that it is a business and that it delivers us a return on the investment we're making. The investment you're making is twofold. One is the man hours you put into this, and the other is the money you invest in this. It's easy to calculate the money, it's more difficult to calculate the man hours. The good news is that if you're passionate and you believe in this, you have an advantage over your competitors who are doing it just because it's a job or just because it's a business idea. Being passionate gives you something that you can engage with. And certainly when it comes to working in a direct medium, such as video, such as face-to-face, then your passion will come across. It's more difficult for the passion to come across in the written word, i.e. through blogging or Facebook or Twitter or that kind of an area. The reality that it's a passion, quite frankly, has no relevance on the concept of running a business. A business is a business. And the reality is that you need to do two things. One, are there people out there in the world who want to buy what you have to sell? Whether that's a service, whether it's a source of ideas, whether it's a product, it doesn't matter. Are there people out there who want to buy it? And if there are, how do you know there are? You need to find a way of gathering evidence that is evidence which is justifiable, that there are enough people out there to consistently want to pay you for what it is you want to deliver. The wrong people to ask about this are your friends, your family, the people you know, because they are not going to be objective. You need to approach the business on the basis that you have the idea but you haven't any money. So you come to someone like me and you say, Bill, I've got this idea for a business, would you give me 10,000 ringgits to start my business and be an investor in my business? Okay, what kind of questions would I ask you? What would I want to know? What would the evidence have to be? And that's the kind of question you have to ask. That's what you have to do. Look at it from the point of view of someone making an investment. What evidence would they need to see that this was a business idea that had value, that this was a business idea that could justify what you're putting into it, that this was a business idea that had a source of response and revenue that you could deliver? So that's number one. Number two is how do you then make it happen? And you now have a series of options in supplying your market with the idea that you've got. So to set up a business, number one, is there a market out there? Number two, is the market prepared to pay for what I've got? Number three, why would they come to me rather than anyone else who's providing the service? So the next thing you have to do is decide what makes you different from everybody else out there who's doing the same thing. So if you're going to use the web, if you're going to use the internet, you need to think through the fact that I may get 30 or 40 phone calls, emails a day from people. I may be on a list that receives 10 blogs a day. I may be getting 20 other people trying to sell me the same service. Why are you different? Why should I focus on you? Why should I subscribe to your service rather than someone else's? And this is where you have to find an angle, an area that makes you different. And then you have to exploit that and make sure you're moving into an area that other people don't cover, or that you cover better than them, so that the people outside who want to pay for your service say, you're number one on my list and I want to do business with you. When you're starting your own business, another thing you have to think about is there just you? So, is there a risk that if for any reason you're not available, something happens, that the service stops, that customers get let down? One of the risks of running your own business is that everything relies on you, and if you're not available, if you get a, I don't know, you're not well or whatever, then the customer doesn't get the service that you've promised. So one of the things you need to do quite early on is make sure that whatever you've promised your customers, whatever you've said they're going to get, they get, whether or not you're available. So you have a standby available should things not be working out for you, and should there be areas where you need to have someone to help you and support you deliver your business. You then need to be quite specific about the way you run the business in terms of the numbers. There are two things you need. One is the technical competence that you've got for operating a camera, for delivering a blog, but the other is the capacity to step back and look at the business. How much money are you going to generate? How does the money come in? When does the money come in? What does that mean to cash flow? Is there going to be a time when you have to chase money, or do people pay up front? If people aren't paying, what are you going to do about it? You need to step back as a manager and manage the business in a way that's distinct from actually delivering the business. So you actually need two hats. One hat is the enthusiastic professional who's delivering the service. The other hat is the calculating, disciplined manager who's running a business and who's looking at the numbers and making sure the numbers are where you want them to be and how you want them to be there, and that the numbers are there at the time when they need to be there to keep the business running and the business moving. I would suggest and recommend you find someone who is already familiar with running a business, not necessarily in your field, and you get them to give you some feedback and support. Maybe you say, let's meet up for lunch once a month, and you get them to guide and act as a mentor or a coach in just giving you some thoughts and ideas on where your business idea is, how it's being delivered, whether it's running to plan, and the kinds of things you are coming up against now and you might anticipate coming up against in the future. And that will help you keep on track and keep disciplined into what you want. One of the issues for running your own business is you can see things the way you want them to be rather than the way you are. You can see things as you would like them to be rather than reality. It's human nature. It's the way you are. It's the way everyone is. So we sometimes need someone from the outside to be objective and give us feedback on what the numbers really mean and what the numbers really are. Those are the kinds of areas where anyone running a business, the technical side, setting it up within your own country, what are the regulations, what are the rules, what are the laws, what are the accountancy procedures. You can get them from any number of sources. Banks will provide them, government agencies will provide them, and you can get help and support from them in the setting up in the technical side. The next key element for you is defining where your market is. And this is called market segmentation. What you have to do is to be very clear as to what success is going to be like for you in 12 months or 3 years or 5 years time. You have to be very clear about how many people are going to be viewing your blog, what type of person is viewing your blog, what age, what lifestyle, what nationality, what education level, what hobbies will they have. You have to clearly define the person who's going to access your blog. Then you're going to have to ask yourself, now that I know I have a description, a profile of this person, what would they want from my blog? What is most useful to them? What is of the highest value to them? And then you have to decide how much are they prepared to get this. When you've done that, the issue for you is how do you let them know that your blog is available? So, I'm a golfer, I'm a tennis player, I'm a cyclist, I'm a runner, I'm a swimmer, I'm a tourist. I may want the information you've got, but how do I know you exist? How do I know that your blog is there? So you now have to find a mechanism that makes your market aware that you exist, then encourages your market to sign in and switch on and engage your blog, and where relevant, pay for the privilege of getting the information you've got when you've got it and coming to you. Once you have these people, you now need a mechanism that keeps them with you. So if, for example, you're producing a monthly video blog, or you're producing it fortnightly or twice a year, it doesn't matter. You need me to make a commitment that says, I want to sign up to get 6 video blogs a year from you, or 1 a month, or 1 a fortnight, or whatever. A one-off application is no good to you because you can't get enough people new all the time signing in. So I need to sign up to the site that you're on, pay the money, and look to pay you a fee that says I would like the information from you on whatever frequency you want to deliver it. So you have a twofold question. What is the nature, what is the description of the kind of people who will want to watch this? Then how do you get to those people to tell them you're available so that they will switch it on and try it? That's where you need to be.